The Martian starring Matt Damon is a great return to form for director Ridley Scott. I would call it his best movie since Gladiator 15 years ago. It has so much heart and humor, it looks amazing, Matt Damon gives a great performance and you will be on the edge of your seat sometimes. That was the short version, now let's go into it.
This will come as quite a shock to my crewmates. And to NASA. And to the entire world. But I'm still alive. Surprise.
The movie is based on the debut novel by Andy Weir, who originally self-published it in 2011. It tells the story of an astronaut who is mistakenly believed dead and left on the planet Mars. It has been described as Apollo 13 meets Castaway, and I think that's pretty accurate. So if you like either one of those movies or are only by the slightest into human drama and survival, this one is definitely for you. I haven't read the novel, but from what I'm hearing and after seeing this movie, I would say it's terrific source material. Drew Goddard, who directed The Cabin in the Woods, adapted the screenplay and was considered to direct this as well. In the end, it was handed to Ridley Scott and I'm glad he did it. I didn't like Prometheus, but I have to say it looked amazing. Arthur Max, who did the production design for that, along with film editor Pietro Scalia and director of cinematography Dariusz Wolski, who all worked on Prometheus, did the job on The Martian, and it's a blast to look at. Especially if you're into science fiction. And with the right screenplay, this time we got ourselves a fantastic movie, not just an alien wannabe with a convoluted plot. It's also way more consistent in tone, better structured and more adventurous than Interstellar, so I would say it's the best space movie since Gravity.
I guarantee you that at some point, everything's gonna go south on you.
Ready?
Maybe Everest is the most dangerous place on Earth, to quote the tagline from their poster, but come on, this is Mars, and Matt Damon will science the shit out of it. I can't begin to tell you how much I loved that scientific approach they were going for. After Damon's character Mark Watney discovered he's still alive, but all his other crew members had gone, he is doing everything he can to survive. And that means thinking with his head rather than his muscles, even if Matt Damon is looking like an ogre at the beginning, but of course he was getting back into shape for the new Jason Bourne movie coming out next year. Watney has to grow food where normally nothing would live. He has to carefully ration all his supplies, need to find a way to get water and also very important, try to communicate with NASA, who are of course over 200 million kilometers away back on Earth. What I like most about The Martian is its optimistic nature, the idea that costs are completely irrelevant when a human life is at stake. The risks are so high, the chance to get Watney back alive so low, and it's not only to save the image of NASA in the public opinion, even if that's a topic too, but there are so many people here who are working their asses off to get that man back home.
Mein Gott. Mark Watney's still alive.
Woo! And I'm a real sucker for that kind of mindset. To beat every obstacle, make the impossible possible, and it's all done extremely realistic. You could say this is a commercial for the scientific approach, but that's a good thing. A thing to look forward to, a thing that can inspire people and let them want to be a part of our constant progress as the human race. But let's come back to the movie itself. There are quite a few characters here. We have the crew of the Mars mission and many different faces at NASA too. But the movie succeeds in giving them all enough material that's necessary for a survival story like this one. And the cast is great too. From Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain to Jeff Daniels, Michael Pena, Sean Bean or Chiwetel Ejiofor. There's also a lot of humor, mostly from Matt Damon, who gives one of his most charismatic performances in his whole career. They managed to work around the fact that Watney is alone for most of the time. While recording logs, he is still talking to the audience, and he has some really terrific and funny lines.
In your face, Neil Armstrong.
Back on Earth, the interaction between the different persons clicks too and gives the movie a very warm, almost light touch at times. But don't be mistaken, there are many thrills and tense moments here as well. There's always another thing that goes wrong and has to be dealt with. And like I said, everybody is working to get Watney back. And I just love that. Math, physics, chemistry, The movie shows how important science is and what we are able to accomplish by constantly heading forward.
Okay, so let's do the math. I have enough food to last for 50 days.
He's going to starve to death long before we can help.
So, I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this.
Of course the story is fictional and there still wasn't a manned mission to Mars, but there wasn't a manned mission to Mars yet. And it's important that mankind starts again to look at the stars. Even if that means that you have to listen to a few ABBA songs, yeah. If you have read the book, you will know what I mean. If not, go check out this movie. Ridley Scott and Matt Damon deliver big time. So that's The Martian. What are your thoughts on it? Please tell me in the comments below, and like always, I will promise I will answer you all.
Surprise.